So you know that in JavaScript, we can create an object and add properties to it dynamically. But this is not possible in TypeScript because TypeScript is very strict about the shape of objects. But there are situations where we need to add properties to an object dynamically, and this is where we use index signatures. So let's say we're building a ticketing application for concerts, and for each concert, we want to know who is sitting where. So we start by creating a class called seatAssignment. Now, in a venue, we can have seats like A1, A2, and so on. And we want to know who is sitting on each seat. So we can say Mosh is sitting on A1, John is sitting on A2, and so on. Now, we don't want to define individual properties like A1, A2, and so on here, because first of all, this is very repetitive. What if we have 100 or 1,000 seats in a venue? We are not going to define 1,000 properties here, right? Also, what if in another venue, our seats are numbered differently? So we don't have A1, A2, we have some other numbering system. So this is where we use index signatures for creating properties dynamically. So look, instead of typing the name of a property like A1 or A2, we add square brackets, give our property a name like seat number of type string. Why am I using string here? Because we can represent the property name like A1 or A2 as a string, okay? Now, what kind of value can we store in this property? In this example, I'm using strings, so we can store a string like Mosh Hamedani, but we can store anything here. We can store a person or a customer object, okay? So for now, let's just set the type of this property to string. Now let's remove these individual properties. So what we have here is called an index signature property. It's a special kind of property. Now let's create an object. We can call it seats. And with this, we can set seats.a1 to Mosh, seats.a2 to John, and so on. Okay? Now, in JavaScript and TypeScript as well, we have another way to access a property. So here we're using the dot notation, but we can also use the square bracket notation. So we can say seats, square brackets, A1 equals Mosh. So these two lines are identical, okay? So using index signatures, we can create properties dynamically, just like JavaScript, but we also get type checking, we get type safety. So we know that in our current declaration, we can only store string values in these properties. So if I try to set A2 to a number, I get a compilation error. So that's all about index signatures. Next, we're going to talk about static members.